Alright, good shit. So there are more announcements for the 3.1.7. So I do believe that 3.1.7 is going to be so jam-packed that they need to separate everything out into so many different sub-update patch notes or whatever you call it. So let's go through everything. So it seems like there is a lot over here, but I think, to be honest, there is probably not that much. So it's just a lot of text, but that's basically it. I can break it down into some simple changes. Now, I generally feel like the changes here would be better for the game in the long run, but that's not to say that there are some questionable changes, like, for example, for the main storyline. Why is there an added star rating for the main storyline levels? I mean, I personally can't relate. I don't think it's such a big deal. Well, maybe things are actually a lot more difficult in the future, who knows? Let me know if you want to see me start a brand new series of me beginning with a fresh free-to-play account. Let me know down in the comments below. Or you know what, if this video gets like 10,000 likes, yeah, for sure man, 100%. Okay, so adjustments to the main storyline chapters, added a star rating for the main storyline levels. After the next version update, main storyline levels will have 3-star clearance conditions. So basically, it's very typical. You get 3 stars if you clear with all your Espers alive, you get 2 stars with 1 Esper's death, you get 1 star with more than 1 Esper death. That's basically it. And then modified conditions to unlock each difficulty mode. So essentially, you need to clear chapter 4 in easy, hard mode, blah blah blah, just to unlock the next difficulty, so to speak. So this is what it's going to look like in the future, and obviously, based on your cumulative star rating, you are going to unlock whatever rewards, right? So it's pretty nice. And one thing to take note of is that there are no more SSM. What a trash item. Now next, okay, so this is the big part, right? Adjustments to the Ritual Miracle. So generally, whatever that I'm seeing here, unless I missed something, it seems to balance things out a little bit. So the early game is going to be a little bit easier than the end game, but I do feel like overall things should be a little bit more manageable and maybe a little bit more thematic as well. So we are going to get into that. So after the 3.1.7 update, we will adjust the skills of each boss level in the Ritual Miracle and divide the 16 levels of Ritual Miracles into 5 difficulty ranges. Okay, so do take note that these are ranges, which means that I feel like the 16 levels will still stay, just that maybe the first 3 levels would be in the first difficulty. Basically, the first difficulty will be called free to play, and then level 4 to 6 would be called easy, level 7 to 9 will be called normal, then hard, and then finally somehow there's going to be purgatory somewhere, right? So in order to encourage players to use more diverse lineups, which I really like this, to defeat different bosses, the damage caused by elemental classes to the bosses will be increased. So what I think this means is flow type Espers will be dealing more damage to Kronos. Basically guys, it's gonna be damn OP. But maybe for Apep, you might want to use Espers like Freddy, for example, right? Single hitting Inferno type Espers. Now, in Purgatory mode, elemental classes that are weak against bosses will be at more of a disadvantage. So essentially, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to, like, for example, bring Ashley into a Kronos fight. It might not be so flexible in the future. But obviously, I think what they have in mind is to include more Espers so that your roster becomes a little bit more diverse as well. But of course, do take note that the detailed descriptions of the difficulty ranges and skill changes of each boss will be announced in a follow-up announcement. So it's not going to be here. So this is just like a teaser trailer. So the general adjustment plan for each boss of the Ritual Miracles are as follows. So for Kronos, reduce the damage dealt and resistance of Kronos on all difficulties. This is great. So if you have Espers like Ira, she's going to thrive so much better here. She's going to be able to survive pretty well, and she's going to be able to reduce the AP of Kronos a little bit more effectively as well. So I think Ira is still going to be quite meta in the future. And remove the Purify effect of the Blessing Tablet, which I think is a great thing. So the tablet on the right removes all the debuffs on the boss and then gives the boss AP. But with the removal of the Purify effect, we can start to use Espers with poison effects, because that will no longer be purified. The boss is just going to instantly take a turn, instantly take poison damage. I think that's pretty cool. So we hope that players will not be afraid to make mistakes and allow more negative effects. Yeah, okay, so it's mentioned here, right? So negative effects like, for example, poisons and, you know, maybe bleeds. Now, as for Apep, reduce Apep's skill-based damage on all difficulties. So I do believe that the passive attack is not going to deal as much damage. That thing was really crazy, man. Oh, it is this one, right? Toxic Detonation. This skill will have increased damage according to the debuff effects on the target. So the more debuffs you have, it's basically the same thing. The more poison stacks you have, the more damage this is going to do. And we have added a new skill for Toxic Detonation, which removes the effect of dispelling player buffs. I don't understand. Added a new skill? More like removal of the effect, isn't it? I'm not too sure what this means, but it seems like it's no longer going to dispel all of your buffs. And in the normal mode, so this is what I'm talking about, right? In the normal mode and above, Apep will add the effect of recovering HP for himself when Toxic Detonation is activated. So if you're well within the range of like normal difficulty, hard difficulty, purgatory difficulty, Ritual Miracles for Apep, this skill will then heal the boss. Now, at the same time, we reworked Blessing Tablet skill so that it can apply poison to all enemies. And the reason why they're doing this is the next line. We hope that players can choose a more diverse lineup when battling Apep. So the developers of Lilith Do you honestly believe that we have such a diverse roster right now that we can deal with the poison stacks right now? It is so difficult for us to handle the poison debuffs right now. So please tell me exactly how this is going to be manageable. Are we supposed to bring like Changpu, Gabrielle? Oh wait, sorry, Gabrielle's no longer going to be free to play. Changpu, Hengyue, who else? I don't know. Jacob, what the hell? Are we supposed to bring so many Espers this time around? We also hope that when facing Apep, players will focus on finding ways to remove the poison effect instead of dealing with Apep's high damage output. So I'm going to assume right off the bat that for both Kronos and Apep, the most basic early game strategy is just going to be running a poison team, which is generally very tanky with high accuracy, and you're still going to kill the boss with pretty decent timing. So I think that should work out pretty well in the future. Now next, Fafnir. Remove the immunity effect of the Blessing Tablet. This is huge. And added a passive skill, Dragon's Reversal, to Fafnir. Now, Fafnir will periodically gain Anvari's Shard, and each stack increases his critical damage. So these shards can be dispelled and taken away, so you want to use Espers that constantly strip. So I do feel like maybe Biondina might actually see more purpose over here. She has the potential to keep stripping buffs whenever she takes a turn. So we hope that such a design can encourage players to use dispelling and stealing skill effects more. Yes, this will definitely open up a lot of doors. So for example, this will open up more doors to debuff teams. So if you're going to be using Espers like Xiao In, for example, I think he can potentially be quite useful in more consistent runs so that you don't have to rely so much on making sure that all your debuffs land, right? Because now the immunity is no longer there. But then again, I remember the Blessing Tablet also dispels all the debuffs, so that could be a problem as well. So this is like a watered down image that you can just see whatever this is about, or at least what are the changes about. Now, number 3, practice stage adjustments. This is something that we have already seen coming like super long ago. They've already mentioned this before. So after the version is updated, practice stages in the game will be removed from the main story stages and integrated into a new system called the Sonic Rift system. Yeah, it looks something like this. And as you can see, there are 5 different colors, right? So there is the basic level, there's the advanced. This is, I think, what's elite. I've never actually seen these two before, so I think there'll be more ways to get bigger EXP experiments, which is pretty cool. So instance descriptions, the difficulty enemy level of the Sonic Rift levels increases with progress. So after clearing a current difficulty mode and meeting the requirements for the total number of stars obtained in the main storyline, you can unlock subsequent levels of the Sonic Rift. Now there is a limit on the maximum number of battle rounds in the Sonic Rift. Players need to defeat all the Miramon within a certain number of rounds, and if enemies are not defeated after reaching a certain number of rounds, or if all Espers are killed, or if the player voluntarily quits or locked out, it will be considered a failure and you will then reduce one stamina. So essentially you need to kill them really fast and you must at least kill all of them. At least within a certain number of rounds, right? We have no idea what this is, but it's a good thing that they introduce a maximum number of rounds so that it doesn't drag the run on for too long. There is a limit to it, so all you need to focus on is killing fast and not making sure that you survive as long as possible, because that's gonna like waste your battery a lot, right? Now, reward adjustment. When a level is cleared, most of the obtained experience rewards, I'm not sure why they said most, shouldn't it be all, will be converted into the form of dropped experiment, which is different from before when the characters gain experience directly from battle. So the thing that we understood in the coming update is that they're going to remove EXP from clearing stages. So this makes sense, they're going to give us more experiment, but at the same time I'm not sure why they said most of the obtained experience rewards will be converted into experiment. Then what about the rest, right? So pretty cool. I like this. This is super cute, by the way. And I think that's about it. So that's it for whatever that we know right now, at least pertaining to what we can expect in the 3.1.7 update. So there are a few things, right? So far we have the wish list, we have like the changes to the Esper acquisitions and all that, and now we have some changes in the main storyline, in the Ritual Miracles, and in the practice stages as well. So that's about it. Let me know in your comments down below. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the current update here. Anyway, this has been Diary Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.